sexy eyes. You look through me as if I wasn't right. Oh no, you didn't just walk on through. It's time.
Good morning, people out front here. Figure I'll give you a little bit of a walkthrough on some of the haunt, so you can see kind of some of the stuff that's been done. Out front here we have two new signs up. One, our sponsored in part by sign, and it's Johnson's Orchards, Imperial's Gardens, Yakima Valley Produce, which is my business, and since most of the money I make from that goes into the haunt, yeah, I put us up there. And then I put Spirit Halloween. We did a flyer exchange. I offered to put them on my sponsor sign if they hung up a couple of my flyers in their stores. So we got that. Oh, and by the way, welcome to day 18 of the Haunted Tent setup. I'm in a little bit better mood this morning than I was last night. As you can tell, I was pretty bummed out last night. But we also got our open close sign up. Interesting story about that. I hadn't put it up yet, and it was it was Wednesday night. We had haunt crashers. You know, you've heard of party crashers. You know, people just show up, you know, even if they weren't invited. Well, I had haunt crashers. Had no power out here, so no lights in any of the displays or anything. Gates were all closed. Signs up, you know, with the dates and our hours and stuff on it. And about 6 o'clock, we hear a knock on the door. And here's this lady with her kid. She goes, "We'd like to go through your haunt. Is that okay?" And my wife's like, "We're not even open yet. We don't even have any electricity out to anything yet. There's no lights on whatsoever. You know, we don't open until the 26th. She goes, "Oh, sorry. We'll be back on the 26th then." And my wife stood in the door and listened to her leave. And she gets out onto the driveway, and the comment she gets is, or my wife hears, is, "See, honey, I told you we should have read that sign." In other words, she wanted to read the sign, and the husband made her come in and knock on the door. It's like, oh God. But anyway, an interesting little tidbit there for you. But anyway, we had the signs out front. That's about all that's been done out front. In here, the wife, other than doing just cobwebbing yesterday, started going through our Mishkabibble box. We can now get the lid on the box. But chain haul is pretty much the same, except she put a little tombstone there in a corner, which is supposed to be her scare spot. And then you get over here, I'm looking, and I'm not seeing much, but I wanted you to get a good daytime look at the cobwebbing she did for the spider display. Now remember, there's going to be a curtain right here. You know, so they're going to push through the curtain right into this. And just the way she's got it shaped, it feels like you're walking into a cocoon almost. And then this in here, and she's still not quite done with this display, but she needs me to get my electrical done because she's going to do some of the fence too and put some spiders on it, which is really neat. She did a fabulous job. She even came back through on this, and there's little spiders just all over the place. And once I get the light in there, you know, I'm going to put a light inside to shine up, this ought to really illuminate. In here, hey, God's Flesh, your croc is making an appearance. Right there. Something God's Flesh sent me when I found his, when he sent me his shirt here last spring and stuff. So it is out in the haunt, bro. But she got some glasses and stuff placed and what have you in there. And of course she did the tarot cards. She got some hands in down there. And there's not much in this display. This one here, she's been kind of playing around with the bowls and what have you. She put some corn stalks in the corner back there to hide the leg. That's what I was looking for the other day. She didn't have it out here in the haunt yet. Belonged to my grandmother. Used to have a rose in it in water, and the rose finally fell apart. So we've had it sitting up on the counter, and we had one of those little hands you put in water that grows. So she put some in water and put it in there, along with some glowing solutions. I'm going to put a black light on it so that crystal ball will glow. But you know, she's gotten that and gotten the plates in and stuff. Shrink that back out. Now we're also getting into the cesspool room, and this is the room that had me frustrated last night, and I'll touch on it in a bit here. But she got some other things in here hidden in the corn. This guy here, when you turn him on, if I can find the switch here. Okay, come on, there's a switch in here. Does that and shakes. I figure, and it's motion active, so people walk by, you start hitting the corn leaves, that thing's gonna go off. And that scared a heck of a lot of people last year. Now I gotta find the off switch. And it's right up on the chin. Hold on here a second, I'm gonna shut this down and get this thing turned off. Okay, now it's turned off. Showing a ground creeper up there with a hand sticking out. I have not been in here to see what she's done. We got some shrunken heads here, another grave popper there, and I'll go through with some LEDs probably and highlight them. I don't know if she did anything over here. But she's just been out here kind of nitpicking. She's getting to the point now where she can't do much more until I get my electrical and stuff done. Yeah, she hasn't done anything else over here. But I gotta get my electrical done and get the hay in the displays, and then she's got a bucket load of work to do. You know, final detailing and all the displays and everything. But that brings us back to the cesspool room. And I showed you that last night. Got some skellies with manacles and the green painting and the barrels and everything. Got another skelly there. And you got the crap ghost. That's what had me frustrated, and as you could tell by the end of the vlog yesterday, I was pretty upset. Pretty pissed. Because I wasn't sure what the hell to do with it. I got to thinking about maybe getting rid of that thing. Just tearing it out and trying to figure out what else to put in there. And I couldn't think of anything else to put in there. I also got to thinking, well, maybe I could put him over there, a leering skeleton, a toxic barrel. You know, and put him back in the corner. Problem is his arms stick out too far. He'd be hitting the walls and wouldn't be doing his thing. So there's not enough room. So I kind of scratched that out. And then I wanted to give a shout out to Godzilla Bill with a big thank you. I'm about ready to give it a try and see. But he watched yesterday's vlog and made a suggestion. Hang that thing in the position I want. Leave it as a static prop. You know, so it just does exactly what it's doing right now. But to get the movement, put a fan underneath of it blowing up. And the fan will move the fabric and stuff around, so it makes it look like it's moving. I really like that idea. That is such a simple, neat, and cool idea. So, Godzilla Bill, I want to say thank you. You gave me a semi-quick, easy fix. The reason why I'm saying semi-quick and easy, I'm going to give the fan a try in there here in just a sec to see if it works, and I'll probably turn the camera on so you can see what the effect is. But the thing is, I tore the hands out, and there's one there, and the face is right down there. Tore the, you know, trying to get that to work. If your idea works, I'm going to have to go back in and reinstall the hands and the face. And then come back out and rehang this dang thing. So, excuse me. So, and that I don't mind. It'll take me about an hour to get them reinstalled and this thing rehung. And I'd rather lose one more hour than have another dead space. But I'm going to give that fan a try. So we got that. Get that done. I need to get in here and I need to rake the ponds out. And then I do need to start working on the electrical in here. I have no choice. The electrical and the whole haunt. I got 2 black lights I bought to go back there with that ghost, 2 small ones. I've got 4 black lights out here I need to put up, 4-foot ones. I've got a fog machine and a scuba board that needs to go in. And then I got some UV spotlights that need to go in this room. All need to be wired to electricity. I got lights in the cornhole. You know, every inch of this place needs the electrical and stuff done. I got fog machines going in all over the place this year. I think we've got 4 or 5 fog machines, you know, for different displays, are going to be hooked up to scuba boards and stuff so we don't fog the place out. You know, I need to start getting in on that. I'm running into crunch time. And I also have to get the liners in on these ponds. I think what I'm going to end up doing, you know, because I mentioned I don't want to put the liners in until, you know, for another couple of days yet, because I don't want to kill the grass. So I think what I'm going to start doing is, once I get that crank ghost up, I'm going to get the fog machines, black lights, and all that stuff, get all the lighting and stuff out here. And I'll get the black lights up and the fog machines and the scuba board in here, get it raked in here. Then I'm going to start out in the graveyard, and I am going to start with the graveyard and just start going through getting all the wiring in and stuff, you know, until I get to this room. Then once I get to this room, I'll stop, get the liners in, you know, and so on, and then probably put the water in too, because even after the liners are in, I still got to get the fencing up, the borders need to be painted, you know, so it's going to be a couple more days before we get a light check going on in here, so you know, so you can see it glow. But I have no choice. I have to get started on that electrical sometime today, you know, at least make a start on it. So I'm going to take a little bit of time this morning. I've got some errands I've got to run. I'm going to test out that crank ghost and hopefully get that crank ghost working this morning. Spend about an hour doing that, you know, getting the hands and stuff reinstalled, and then I'm going to go run my errands, and when I get back, we'll jump in with getting the, you know, things kind of wired up and stuff, and see where we're at from there. So, you know, that's kind of what the plan is for today. I'm going to put this down and give that crank ghost a test try with the fan and see how it works. So, give you another segment a little bit later and let you know how things went. Yeah, I've got the fan set up in there. If you notice, one corner of that is moving. Problem is the way I currently have it set up. This needs, the ghost needs to be further back so it's more over the fan, and the fan's going to be up a little bit higher too. Right now it's almost about an inch above the ground, so it's not getting the airflow it needs, but I think that's going to work. So Bodzilla Bill, thank you. You know, you gave me about another hour's worth of work, but this is going to fix the problem, and that's what I needed. So big thank you, you know, for the idea with the fan. I think I'm going to end up doing that. I'm not going to waste any more time with windshield wiper motors and trying to do crank ghosts. So this, it will be a nice, easy little prop to hopefully put together. I just got to get the hands and the face put back in. So, okay, guys, it's been about an hour. I got the crank, the X-Crank Ghost reinstalled with the head and the hands. I've also got it moved a little further back from the piping, and it looks a little bit better that way. Now I have a regular box fan, and I tried from down below, and it gives a nice effect from down below. Only problem is there's also going to be water down there, and it makes me a little nervous having that fan sitting a couple inches above a bunch of water. So I tried putting it up on top, and it gives a really interesting effect from having it up on top of the wall too. So I think I've got to go get my errands ran before it gets too much later. And I think when I get back, I'm going to get my lights out, my fog machines out, start doing that. And when I get to this room, I think I am going to try installing that fan above and kind of slightly behind the crank ghost, so the air is kind of hitting it from above and from behind at the same time. You know, and it's going to kind of blow it this way a little bit, as well as make it dance a bit. But I think that's going to work. Bodzilla Bill, God bless you, bro, and thank you. That was a good idea. I got a crank ghost of sorts in. Or would this be a wind ghost, I guess you'd call it. But this will work great. So I appreciate the tip and the help, and I appreciate all the comments I've gotten on it too. Good afternoon, people. Got done my errands, had my lunch, and the family just helped me move out all the electrical stuff. So I was going to jump in, get the power pole in place, get my trunk lines in, and start running extension cords. And I got to thinking that probably ain't too smart of an idea until I get my lights and stuff up so I can see what cords need to go where. So we've got two 400 watt foggers and a 1000 watt fogger that I bought this year out here, and we have the one working one from last year. At least it was working last year. I haven't tried it this year yet. And then all those other plastic tubs are either hoses. In fact, I got one for hoses just for the fog machine. All the rest are lights, light bulbs, flash crackers, strobe lights, what have you, that go through. Oh, and LEDs. Which one is it? Yeah, that big one right there. That's all my LED lights I made. All 50,000 of them, as people like to say. So I'm basically just going to open up a tub and grab my screws and grab my drill, and I'm going to go display by display, getting all the lights into their places where they need to go. So time to have some fun. Hey people, mid-afternoon update for you. Been out here since I got home from my errands, running, I was going to say running electrical, which curtails bringing out my power pole, getting that wired up, getting my trunk lines out that go from the power pole out to the displays, what have you. And I got to thinking when I was out on my errand, it'd be kind of worthless to do that now, because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to need the trunk lines ran to, because I don't have all the electrical items out in my hunt. So I figured, well, I'm going to get all my tubs of electrical stuff out. You know, I got tubs of everything from light bulbs to strobe lights to flash crackers to what have you. And I figure, well, I'll get all that stuff out and I'll go through the hunt and I'll get that all mounted and hung up, including my LED lighting and stuff first. Then I'll bring out the power pole and run my trunk lines and start worrying about hooking everything up, you know, so they get power. But it'd be nice to know where everything is, you know. So started out here with on the driveway, both with Will's box over there on the other side there. He has a blue light bulb in him. That's what the brown cord is running out from behind it. I also got into the crypt and got the fog machine hooked up and ready to go. Cords are laying off to the side there, and I got the boo board in there from Scuba. You know, it's sitting right there on top, you know. So I basically just need to do my wiring on that and get plugged in electricity, and the boo board will be live and it'll be ready to go. Ain't gonna happen today. But it's out here and ready to go. So I got that part done. In here, the well, I got my boo board in here that has the audio chip in it, MP3 player, and the fog machine. So those two are ready to go. I'm basically just got untie my tongue, get out here and run the electrical where it needs to be. Probably should do the same thing with a Zombie Bait and George, get the power cords up and into place. But anyway, I got that done. And then before I started all this, we brought out all the tubs of my electrical stuff. That all has electrical in it. And I'm trying to go through and organize a little bit better. Usually when we're tearing down, I just throw stuff into whatever empty crate I've got. And I get stuff, like I made some PVC candles a while back. I need to redo the lighting. Been meaning to redo the lighting for the last couple of years. Keep forgetting, you know. Next box over has all my fogger stuff in it. You know, problem is I got fogger stuff scattered through all the boxes. So, you know, as I'm finding fogger stuff, I'm getting it all into that box so it's all together. But anyway, I got that Scuba Boo board in here. And I got a speaker down there underneath the rat, and another one with George, or not George, but a zombie bait. It's going to be tied into the boo board and playing some noise for the torture chamber room. Let's see, what else is there? I'm going to have zombie bait and probably George, the well, and the fog machine all tied into that boo board and everything. Well, actually, no, George will not be tied in. So it's going to be zombie bait, the well, the fog machine will all be tied into it. And then at the end of the sequence, it's going to start out with George will go off on his own. Then zombie bait will be triggered. And he might be noisy enough to trigger George. I don't know yet. George can be a little finicky about starting. Sometimes he'll run, and other times he won't run at all, no matter what you do. But zombie bait will trigger, and at the same time, the fog machine will trigger. Okay. By the time they get on zombie bait, get to here, the well will trigger about 3 to 4 seconds later. And then I'm going to leave the system active. And at about the 10 to 20 second mark, and it's not designed as a scare, but I got a flash cracker up there. You know, so about every 20 to 30 seconds, when the boo board gets to it, that thing will fire, and that will let me know it's safe to let people come back in. That's my timer, so we don't have to have a clock out there. But I have that tied into the boo board. Let's see, what else did we get done? Oh yeah, I put my oldest fog machine underneath that table, so I'll be shooting fog out. In fact, I think we zoom in. You can see that white pipe there? That's attached to the fog machine. It has holes drilled on either side of it, so the fog will go down the pipe and out the sides. So I've got an old 1,000-watt fogger, and it's more smoke than fogger anymore. I mean, it's hardly putting anything out. Oh, and the crypt and the well have 400-watt foggers in them. But I got that done. Only thing I've done in here is get the boo board placed in there. I was about ready to start on this display. I got a lighted mister that goes in that bowl I gotta get in. Over here, only thing I've done is get another scuba boo in there. Now this display, it's got its boo board. I also did a brand new 1,000-watt fogger in here. And I was thinking, if I have it turned, you know, so it's running this way, it's going to hit that thing and go straight up in the air. If I turn it running this way, it's going to shoot out, hit that board, go straight up in the air, and probably go into the witch's display. Now I'm going to get a little bit of fog in the witch's display either way. But I got to thinking, I had some old dryer hose, and I ran it over the lip into the well, and my tarp, or my pool lining that I'm going to be putting in, will go over the top of it. And I'm hoping, as cold as that water gets, it will act as kind of like a fog chiller. Probably won't do all that much, but I got it so the fog will come out right here into the room, and I'm hoping it will go out, you know, as a ground cover. As far as the silver on it, I've got to get out here with some black paint, and after I get the liners in and paint the wood black, I'll hit that silver pipe as well and give it a rough coating of black too, so it blends in. Once I get the water mister over in the gypsy display done, I think I'm going to hold off on anything more in the tubs. Curiosity is killing me. I'm going to come over and get my black lights installed in here, so that way I can hook up to my extension cords tonight. I want to see what this room looks like with all the fluorescent in here, and see what it does with 4 4-foot black lights and 2 2-foot black lights going in here. That should really make it fluoresce. And if I have any problems, I've got all those black light LED lights I made. Plus I got some black light strobe lights, or UV strobe lights that work really good. You know, so I can spice it up with that if I need to. But I got this room still to do. I have not done anything in the cornhole as of yet. Haven't gotten that far. If I did get in here, you'll notice her wires aren't hanging down, and that's because I got them hooked up to their cord up there, which runs over to the mirror. That one still needs an extension cord. Those need cords. That needs a cord. And it ends up right there. I'm going to have one connection right here so everything can tie in. My boo board is down there, ready to be installed. And I got that one wired. So, you know, that's about as far as I've gotten this afternoon. And, you know, I realize it doesn't look like a hell of a lot. You know, if you guys don't do a lot of extensive wiring with your haunts. I mean, a lot of people try to use tea lights, or they run a couple of clamp lights, or a couple of strobe lights. You know, I'm not sure, and I mean no insult by this, please do not take it as an insult. But, you know, if you're doing, you know, just like a cemetery scene for Halloween, you light up your tombstones, that's about the extent of it. When you're doing a walkthrough, on the other hand, and you have so many displays, you know, we've got about 15 displays this year if I count the ghost hall. You know, and each one has their own lighting needs and everything else. It's a crap ton of lights, and the wiring is a nightmare. You got to get a system down, or you're not going to get it done. Though I've seen a lot of cemetery scenes. Which one reminds me of? Dead Things Yard Haunt or Hall Staff, you know, that do a ton of pneumatics in their yard along with all the electrical wiring and stuff. I wouldn't want to be them, because they've got the nightmare of running the electrical and stuff out there just like I do. Plus they've got to run air lines and electrical for solenoids, and, you know, anyone that has a lot of pneumatics, you know, they know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about wiring, you know, wiring hell. You know, because those hoses, I guess, are a form of wiring. It's just a different form of power. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just kind of hodgepodge, you know, as I go through a tub. I'm finding, okay, this goes in this display, this goes in that display. And I'm going and getting it, trying to get it put in. And I'm going tub by tub, you know, trying to get the tubs emptied or sorted or what have you as I go. So, it's a living. Hey guys, just getting ready to go in for dinner, and been over in the cesspool room, which is our blacklight room, getting the black lights up, getting the wind ghost done, and thought I'd bring you out and show you the wind ghost. Right there. I'm not sure if you can tell if it's blowing or not. Yeah, all this stuff right through here, Morgan. Lots of stuff. But she is a blowing and a blowing. Now, I can't remember his name now. But someone that starts with a B, Balthazar, I want to say Balthazar, and I know that's not it. Oh, Bodzilla Bill. Or, yeah, Bodzilla Bill. Suggested using a fan. So I went through and I attached the hands and the face back up to them, and it's tied the fishing line up to my supports up here from the inside, and then attached the fan back there. And I've got set on medium. On low, it doesn't blow quite enough, but, and then I got 2 black lights in there. So we got that. But anyway, I also got out here, got my black lights hung. There's 2 18-inch ones in there. And then we got 4 big ones over there in that corner. And then I put 1 over here in this corner. And I might end up moving it. Might. Because it's kind of being hidden by the pipes. I haven't decided yet. Now, after I get done with dinner, it's going to be dark out here. Dark enough to see how these black lights are working. And I need to know, because I got a bunch of UV spotlights I need to hang. And I need to kind of know where to hang them. So I'm going to come out and do a light check And I might end up moving that black light. It's just a bit too much. And as you can see, as it gets darker, you know, things are really starting to fluoresce. So, but anyway, I'm going to call it quits. Help my chief garbage hauler do a little cleanup. And she looks like she's getting a full can. And we will talk with you guys after dinner. Hey guys, it's after dinner, about 7 p.m. It's more than dark enough out here. Still a little bit of light, but not by much. Heading over into the black light room, the cesspool room. Let's see what's popping. I'm thinking, from what I saw when I shot my last segment, we're going to need to at least move one light. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but oh my God. Now it's a little dim over there where that where the lurker and the skeleton on the wall is. But look at the paint on the wall. Is that coming through? I hope it is. Oh my God. It's a little dingy here. I'm going to turn this one off. I'm thinking I need to move that one over there. But oh my God. Live from the cesspool room. Welcome to the haunted tent. Okay guys, here's the deal. I took the black light that was in that corner off. I've got it sitting up there temporarily. We are going to take it and mount it right to the rim of the wall here, like that. Okay, and that helps brighten up this wall significantly, as well as the pipes too. So we're going to do that. And then these 2 foot actually they're 18-inch black lights. I'm going to mount one right up here on the back side, just one. I'm going to take the second one off and we're going to put it in over here on this wall to help fluoresce this a little bit. The other ones, that one there is hitting the corners and stuff really good, and the decals are fluorescent on the barrels. Dog's glowing a bit. This one is doing a real good job for right where it's at. It's getting the skeleton, the leaves are glowing a little bit. And that one's hitting the pipes. And God, look at the grout lines on the brick up there. and then the ones in there. So I'm going to get my regular light out. And we're going to start moving things around. And then we'll do another test here in just a bit. Okay. All the lights moved. It is a little darker back there behind the wing ghost, but things are still glowing. The glue is showing up really good that I used to glue around the hands and stuff. The rest of the ghost really isn't fluorescent. That cheesecloth just doesn't want to fluoresce, nor the gray fabric. And the gray fabric I expected. Remember when I was making the wall, I took some yellow fluorescent paint, sprayed it into a cup, and then brushed it on the grout lines. Man, look at them glow. That really makes them stand out. All the way down. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. A little bit. That one up there right next to the light's really bright. I do need to get in there with some Windex and a damp towel tomorrow and go over my old lights and clean them. They're a little dirty. That might brighten them up a little bit. don't know if it's showing up on camera, but in here now the skeletons are all showing up real good. Now I promised you guys back in March a nighttime view of these wall panels. You're getting it right here, right now. I keep my wood. Now, Halloweenville, Josh suggested maybe going over the skeletons with some of the leftover fluorescent paint. I got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, and a lot of the red left, or the pinkish orange. And I told him, you know, that I'd thought about, which I had, and I'm still thinking about it. But the problem is that would mean I would not be able to use the skeletons in any other display. They'd be stuck for this room, and I interchange things from year to year. Next year I might not have skeletons in this room. Hell, I might only have one pawn next year, you know, instead of two. I don't know. But not too bad. Now I do have to note as well, guys, I don't have the liners in, the water's not in, the fluorescent dye I bought for that is not in. Once that gets added, the fountains are running in here, this room is going to look 100% different. That fluorescent, the fluorescent dye in the water is really going to illuminate it even more. You know, we notice that when I use the Atomic Glow, which is that green dye I've used from year to year. You get the black light just right, or saturate the room like I've got it right now with black light, and it really brightens up the displays. You know, so those skeletons are probably going to stick out like sore thumbs once the water gets in here. You know, I might address again the use of fluorescent paint on the skeletons when I get to that point if they don't show up. Another good way to get them to show up is use clear glue sticks in your Webcaster gun. In fact, you can see there that little bit of blue on the Leering skeleton. That's leftover cobwebbing from last year. And look at it glow. It's glowing nice and blue. So, anyway, there's your dark light room. I don't have the, you know, right now I've just got my 2 work extension cords out here powering the lights. This room has not been wired yet. I just wanted to check the lights. I've been anxious to see what this room looked like and stuff. So I just hooked them up to my 2 work cords for right now. I still got to get in here, and I think I might add 1 or 2 spotlights in here, my UV spotlights, especially in behind the dog to highlight that. And I think that's going to be about it for in here. It only needs maybe 1 or 2 in here. Then, God, other than that, I need the liners, the water, and the dye. So, God, I'm just shocked. Now, funny thing is, and I know it's not going to show on the camera, I'm over in the witch's display right now, but I'm getting some ambient black light from the room, and my wife's got some jars in here with the Atomic Glow, which is that green dye. And heck, even the eyes on the witch, they're slightly glowing, and they're just getting indirect light from the UV room. Yeah, it's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm going to call this segment done. I'm going to get the wife out here, see if she has any ideas or what have you, and we'll probably have a couple of more segments for you. It's still early. It's only going on about 8 o'clock. I got till midnight. Okay, guys, end of the day wrap up. I know last time when I said I had till about midnight, and I actually do have till about midnight. Then again, I don't have any time to sleep in tomorrow morning either, so. It's been about 15 minutes since I recorded the last segment. Yes, I'm going to go inside and call it quits out here for the day. I am not done with haunt stuff though. After I get this monstrosity of a vlog edited, I've got to get some editing done on the music and sound effects I need for the booth. They're still sitting on my computer in the raw stage other than the driveway track. So I need to get them all edited so they're done and over with. Today's accomplishments, we got some miscellaneous lights are in, all the fog machines are in. We got all the electrical tubs out here. Got a couple empty, got a couple row full yet. Don't have any LEDs up. And then the big kicker of the day is a big thank you to Bodzilla Bill. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I ain't, I'm sorry for the insult. You're still a scholar and a gentleman. Getting the ghost fixed. It's not a crank ghost, it's a wind ghost. And I'm not sure what the heck's up with that. But I'm noticing with the black light I've got in there, the main body of it's cheesecloth, and I've got kind of a gray material over the top of it, you know, kind of cutting ribbons, tattered. That cheesecloth is not glowing at all. The only thing that's glowing on that dang thing is the hot glue I use to glue the fabric to around the head and around the I want to say arms, but hands. And it's kind of a neat effect, but I was kind of hoping the ghost would glow just a wee bit. But yeah, no, I would never have even thought of doing that. So Bodzilla Bill, I owe you one big time. You know, and if he makes a suggestion to any of you guys, listen, the boy knows what he's talking about. So anyway, thank you again. I know I've said your name and said that quite a few times today. It's probably even worse for you guys because you're getting everything all in one shot. At least for me, there's been a couple hours between thank yous. Tomorrow, wife and I looked at the blacklight room. It looks pretty good. I've got one corner back behind the dog that isn't glowing. It's very bright. You know, it's kind of hidden by the dog. So I might put a UV spotlight in there just to kind of get it to glow. Other than that, I don't think at this point in time any UV lights need to be put into that room other than that. And I might hold off on that UV light in there. Still need to get the liners in and the water in. That's going to be next week. Definitely next week, probably Monday or Tuesday they'll go in. If I don't have all my rest of my electrical done first. If I get it done faster than that, and the liners will go in sooner. Yeah, falling off the stairs here. Got to answer my pants. I do have a little bit of work out in the shop I gotta do tomorrow. I've got two very old 50-foot extension cords. One of which I used for the Spider when it was up on top of the Big Ten. I'm gonna take those apart, make sure everything's clean and connected right, and because I need to use them for the water pumps in there. I gotta daisy chain them together. I gotta run a cord from one pump to the other, and from the other one up to the big pussy up there on the plywood. The water pumps in for the fountains actually run all day long, every day. I plug them into the blow-ups. When I plug the blow-ups in, they go on. I like to keep the water circulating, you know, it just kind of helps keep the dye mixed in and what have you. So I'm not going to be plugging them in tomorrow because there's no water, no liners in the ponds, but I want to get the electrical wiring for those done ASAP. So that'll probably be my first project for tomorrow. Then it's getting back out here and going through tubs. I'm probably gonna go through all the tubs, get all the spotlights, floodlights, not spotlights and floodlights, but strobe lights up and in the different areas and stuff before I even touch the LED tub, which has my spots and floods in it. When I get to that one, we'll figure out what colors go into what displays, and we'll just start out in the driveway with the you know, the graveyard and stuff, getting you know, the signs and everything else out there done, and it's basically just mounting them where they need to go, and then we'll just go through all the displays one after the other until they're all till every display's been done. Once that's done, then I'll get the wiring out, and we'll start get the power pole in, get the trunk lines out, and start wiring and everything up. And then for you guys, that's when it will be getting really interesting, because at the end of the day you'll get a little custom walkthrough of each display, you know, and you might get it a couple nights in a row because we'll change the lighting and, you know, what have you as we look at it. So But you know, that's going to be kind of what we're going to be working on tomorrow. Is just more electrical, more, you know, getting more lights out and into place and stuff. I doubt very highly we'll get to any wiring at all tomorrow, other than wiring up the ponds. So, but other than that, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to get inside, get my shoes off, and relax a bit, and get some editing done. So, saying, stay spooky out there from the haunted tents as the world turns and the ghouls crawl. Someone told me they liked it when I did that, so go crawl yourself a gruel. Gruel. Gruel sounds kind of menacing too. But anyway, stay spooky out there, boys and girls.